Hey rabbits, it's Trixie, and you guys really liked my video 5 cute things my German mother does, which got me thinking because actually my German grandmother is way worse. My grandmother is so German in a really stereotypical and a bit negative way that I just had to make a video about her. She's a really cool person, but has some pretty harsh, fuzzy and weird traits I bet you won't believe. Let me say that younger generations of Germans behave differently, and I don't want to generalize or spread outdated stereotypes, but here are 5 strange things my German grandmother does, and I promise they are all true. Germans love to have carpets in their flats or houses. One reason for that is that they create this cozy, comfortable atmosphere. Another is that they protect the floor under them from scratches and dirt. So a big, nice carpet in the living room and a doormat in the entrance sound like a good idea, right? Well, not enough carpets for my grandmother. Her whole house has carpeted floor, and then on top of that you'll find several rugs with colorful patterns, and on top of them, doormats. But no, not only in the entrance area, but on both sides of each door of the house between different rooms. There are so many carpets in my grandmother's house that up to 3 of them overlap in certain places. And as if that is not enough, even her furniture is covered in tablecloths and little doilies, all because she's afraid of dirt and dust. Visiting my grandmother's place always feels like entering a padded cell, which seems to be a quite appropriate analogy considering the weird taste of decoration. Another strange fact about my grandmother's house: there are drapes everywhere, and before you are allowed to turn the light on in the evening, all the window blinds have to be lowered so that the neighbors cannot spy at my grandparents. Because yeah, I guess the neighbors have nothing better to do than waiting for a sunset so that they can watch my grandpa sitting on his armchair reading the newspaper. Best entertainment ever. I prepare breakfast, lunch and dinner whenever I start to feel hungry. There's no set hour for a certain meal, and sometimes I also have a snack in between, or I just skip a meal because I just don't feel like it. For my grandmother, however, consuming food is not a matter of appetite, it's a matter of schedule. At 12 sharp, lunch will be served, and you'll better not be late. If you're not hungry yet, that's okay. Grandma will prepare a smaller portion just for you. Just 1 elephant, filled with a hippo, filled with a cow, filled with potatoes, instead of 2. My grandma's biggest hobby is gardening, and when you are in her garden, everything looks so clean and neat that you feel like in a museum. You know, like in a red rose, 10 centimeters, white rose, 10 centimeters, red rose, 10 centimeters, kind of way. The lawn is mowed every other week, there is no weed at all, everything grows in its designated place or has to die immediately. So far, this sounds already a little bit fuzzy and weird, but the insanity goes even further. Whenever there are leaves from the neighbor's garden falling onto my grandmother's lawn, she goes outside, picks them up piece by piece, and throws them back into the neighbor's garden. Here you have the mess bag that you made me clean up. Eat leaves. Especially for older generations of Germans, religion can play a big role in their lives. And my grandmother is no exception here. Every day, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my aunt come together to have their Bibelstunde, which translates to Bible hour. They sit together in the living room, reading from the Bible, singing Christian songs, and praying for their beloved ones. So far, this may not be everybody's taste of lifestyle, but they really like it, and I'm religious too in my own way, so I won't judge it. But what drives me nuts is that they almost aggressively try to convert other people, including the whole family and basically everyone they meet to what they believe in, completely ignoring alternative mindsets or constructive discussions. I've heard it several times already that some people consider Germans quite miserly. We don't fling away money and we do ridiculous things to save ridiculous amounts. If we drive 50 kilometers to the other supermarket, the lemonade is 5 cents cheaper. I don't know what applies to the rest of Germans, but for my grandmother, this stereotype is definitely true. To lower the costs on water in her house, she stopped flushing the toilet. You know, after doing what people do on toilets. Don't worry, this is not the end of the story. Instead, she put buckets into her garden collecting rainwater that she then used to pour it into the toilet after using it.
I need to go to the toilet, but it hasn't rained in 3 days. Is there a cloud over there? Please.
Environmentally friendly or insanity? You decide. Obsession with cleanliness, lunchtime at 12 sharp, fights with neighbors, a super neat garden, intrusive religiousness, and ridiculous miserliness. Looks like we dug deep in the dust-covered stereotypes about Germans' chest. But all the things that I just told you are in fact things my German grandmother does. So there are indeed Germans that the old stereotypes kind of fit to, even though they are super outdated and newer generations behave differently. Now that I listed all the weird and almost cartoonish German traits my grandmother has, I feel a little bit bad for her, because apart from that, let me say she's a really gentle and awesome person. Anyways, I hope you had fun with the video. Some really weird things I just listed, right? But I didn't fool you. My grandma is quite a personality. Do you have family members that act in a way that you simply cannot understand? Do they have attitudes that seem to be related to their nationalities? And what do you think about my grandmother's behavior? Normal for older generations of Germans or pretty strange? Do you know other Germans like her? Let me know in the comments below, and please give a thumbs up if you like the video, because that would make me happy. And if you want to support me even more, you can also become a patron. I'll put a link to my Patreon page in the description as well. Now, I wish you a very beautiful day. Check out my other videos if you'd like to, and see you in the next one. I don't know what's wrong with me. Bye! Of